Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome back to Timeless Sagas, the channel where we dive deep into the annals of history to bring you the most fascinating, hilarious, and sometimes downright bizarre stories from our collective past. Today, we'll be soaring through the skies of the 20th century to uncover the origins of a simple, yet universally loved disc that has brought joy to countless people across the globe. That's right, folks, we're talking about the Frisbee. Now, before we dive into the history of the Frisbee, it's worth noting that the idea of tossing a disc-shaped object through the air is by no means a modern invention. In fact, it is believed that ancient Greek and Roman athletes played a game called discus, which involved throwing a circular object, usually made of stone, bronze, or lead, as far as possible. And while we can't say for sure whether the Greeks and Romans were throwing these discs for recreation or competitive sports, it's safe to say that the concept of hurling something saucer-shaped through the air has been around for quite some time. But back to the Frisbee. Our story begins in the 1930s in the small town of Bridgeport, Connecticut, where a bakery called the Frisbee Pie Company was busy churning out delicious pies for the local community. Now, these pies were not only known for their scrumptious taste but also for the metal tins they came in. These tins, as it turns out, had a rather peculiar quality. When turned upside down and flung through the air, they would glide gracefully, much to the delight of those who discovered this unique property. Legend has it that one fateful day, a group of college students from nearby Yale University happened upon these pie tins and, in a stroke of creative genius, began tossing them around for fun. As they threw the tins, they would yell Frisbee as a warning to those nearby, so they wouldn't get smacked by a flying pie tin. And thus, the game of Frisbeeing was born. Now, this story is undoubtedly charming, but it's essential to take it with a grain of salt because, as we historians know all too well, the truth can sometimes be a bit more complicated than the legends passed down through the generations. Nevertheless, the popularity of Frisbeeing grew, and it didn't take long for the pastime to spread far beyond the hallowed halls of Yale. Enter Walter Frederick Morrison, an American inventor who would forever change the game of Frisbeeing and pave the way for the modern Frisbee. You see, during World War II, Morrison served as a pilot, and it was during this time that he became fascinated with aerodynamics and the mechanics of flight. Upon his return to civilian life, Morrison set out to create an improved version of the flying disc, one that would truly soar through the skies. In 1948, Morrison and his business partner, Warren Franchini, co-founded a company called Partners in Plastic and developed a product they called the Flying Saucer. This early version of the Frisbee was made of plastic, which allowed for a more consistent flight path compared to the original metal pie tins. The Flying Saucer was marketed as a new kind of sport that could be enjoyed by people of all ages, and though it enjoyed moderate success, the story doesn't end here. In 1955, Morrison decided to go solo and further refine his flying disc design. This led him to create the Pluto Platter, a sleeker, more aerodynamic disc that boasted a more stable flight pattern. The Pluto Platter was a hit, and it wasn't long before Morrison's invention caught the eye of a toy company that would play a crucial role in the history of the Frisbee, Wham-O. Wham-O, the company responsible for such iconic toys as the hula hoop and the Super Ball, saw great potential in Morrison's Pluto Platter. They purchased the rights to the flying disc in 1957, and after making a few tweaks to the design, they rebranded the product as the Frisbee, a nod to the pie tins that started it all. With a massive marketing push from Wham-O, the Frisbee quickly became a worldwide sensation, and the rest, as they say, is history. But wait, our journey through the annals of Frisbee history isn't over just yet. You see, as the Frisbee's popularity grew, so too did the number of inventive ways people found to enjoy their flying discs. It wasn't long before people began to realize that the simple act of tossing a Frisbee back and forth could be transformed into a wide variety of competitive sports. The first of these sports to take flight was Ultimate Frisbee, which was invented in 1968 by a group of high school students in Maplewood, New Jersey. Combining elements of soccer, football, and basketball, Ultimate Frisbee quickly gained a following and has since grown into a worldwide phenomenon, complete with national and international championship tournaments. But the world of competitive Frisbee sports doesn't end with Ultimate. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, other games like freestyle, disc golf, and guts emerged, each with its own unique set of rules and challenges. Today, there are dozens of Frisbee sports enjoyed by millions of people around the globe, a testament to the versatile and enduring appeal of the humble flying disc. And there you have it, folks, the history of the Frisbee in all its glory. From its humble beginnings as a pie tin to its current status as a symbol of fun and camaraderie, the Frisbee has truly earned its place in the annals of human history. So, the next time you find yourself tossing a frisbee around with friends or family, take a moment to appreciate the rich history behind this simple, yet endlessly entertaining toy. That's it for today's episode of Timeless Sagas. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of the Frisbee, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating, hilarious, and sometimes downright bizarre stories from our collective past. Until next time, stay curious, and keep exploring the timeless sagas that make our world so wonderfully weird.